Alright, Tarnished Tales fam, buckle up. The news cycle is spinning faster than a warp core breach, and we've got the absolute latest, the hottest takes, and the stories you need to hear right now. Forget what you heard yesterday, because today's headlines are rewriting the game. We're diving deep into developments that are shaking up industries and capturing the world's attention. Get ready for updates that are too big, too bold, and too important to miss. Let's jump in and see what's making waves across the globe. Today, we're kicking things off with a massive development in the gaming world. A significant vote has just concluded that could reshape the landscape of game development as we know it. Next up, we're diving back into the virtual realms, but this time, it's all about strategy and power-ups. We've got the inside scoop on the ultimate gear for warriors seeking to conquer the toughest challenges. Get ready to learn about the coveted items that can turn the tide of battle and elevate your gameplay to legendary status. Then, we're shifting gears to explore a fascinating tidbit from the same universe. It seems a beloved developer is reconsidering its approach, potentially bringing back some of the most electrifying and innovative features from past experiences. Could this mean a permanent upgrade to the player experience, injecting even more fun and unpredictability into the core gameplay? We've got the details. And finally, we're venturing into a different digital frontier where fans are finding unexpected joy and sparking intense conversations. A recent release is capturing hearts and minds, not just for its quality, but for what it represents in the face of long-standing player desires. It's a story of passion, expectation, and a community finding new reasons to engage. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to Tarnished Tales, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an unmissable update. Let's go. Gaming's new frontier, developers forge a union. In a move that echoes across the tech and entertainment industries, over 450 developers working on the immensely popular Diablo franchise at Blizzard Entertainment have officially voted to unionize under the Communications Workers of America, CWA. This monumental decision marks a significant victory for worker organization within the high-pressure world of game development and establishes one of the largest wall-to-wall unions at Blizzard. The vote, which concluded on the evening of August 27, 2025, saw workers across various disciplines, including designers, engineers, artists, and support staff, casting their ballots either through physical union cards or a secure online portal. The successful outcome means these employees will now be represented by CWA local chapters across the country, including Local 9510 in Irvine, California, Local 1118 in Albany, New York, and Local 6215 in Austin, Texas. This broad representation signifies a unified front for a diverse range of roles within the studio. Organizing committee members cited recent mass layoffs initiated by Microsoft, which acquired Activision Blizzard in late 2023, as a primary catalyst for the unionization drive. Kelly Yo, a Diablo game producer and a key figure in the organizing efforts, expressed the pervasive anxiety among staff. With every subsequent round of mass layoffs, I've witnessed the dread in my coworkers grow stronger because it feels like no amount of hard work is enough to protect us. Yo emphasized that this unionization is a crucial step in a larger movement seeking to bring stability and security to an industry often characterized by volatility. The sentiment was echoed by game designer Ryan Littleton, who recounted a chilling experience where his access badge was unexpectedly denied, leading him to fear he was part of another layoff round, highlighting the constant stress workers face. This development is part of a growing trend of unionization efforts within Blizzard Entertainment and the broader Xbox game studio's umbrella. Just recently, the studio's story and franchise development team also voted to unionize. The Diablo developers have been vocal about their goal to mitigate the constant pressure of layoffs and to combat what they term the passion tax, the expectation that employees should sacrifice better working conditions and compensation due to their love for the games they create. Senior software engineer Nav Batty stated, "At some point, you have to choose between fight or flight, and forming a union is us doing just that, standing our ground in the industry." Jason Justice, president of CWA Local 9510, hailed the event as further evidence of California becoming a central hub for video game worker organizing. He noted, "What's happening here is part of a much larger story about turning the tide in an industry that has long overlooked its labor. Entertainment workers across film, television, music, and now video games are standing together to have a seat at the table." While Blizzard Entertainment has yet to issue an official comment, the implications of this vote are far-reaching, signaling a potential shift in power dynamics and labor relations within the lucrative video game industry. This historic vote sends a clear message about the evolving labor landscape in gaming. But what does this mean for the future of game development, and could similar movements be on the horizon in other major studios? Stay tuned as we explore these critical questions and the impact of this groundbreaking unionization. Diablo 4's secret weapons, top chaos armor for sorcerers. For the ambitious sorcerer player in Diablo 4 Season 10, mastering the elemental forces is key to survival and dominance. As players delve deeper into the challenges presented by the latest season, the pursuit of optimal gear becomes paramount. Among the most sought-after items are those that fall under the Chaos Armor category, renowned for their unique properties that can significantly amplify a sorcerer's offensive and defensive capabilities. Identifying the best among these can be the difference between a fleeting encounter and a legendary victory. Season 10 introduces a dynamic meta where synergistic builds are crucial, and the right armor can unlock devastating potential. The Chaos Armor set, in particular, offers a range of affixes that resonate powerfully with the sorcerer's spellcasting nature. Players are constantly seeking out the legendary affixes and unique stats that can define their character's trajectory. This season, the focus for sorcerers has heavily gravitated towards enhancing their spell damage, critical strike chance, resource management, and survivability against the increasingly formidable foes that populate Sanctuary. One of the top contenders for Chaos Armor in Season 10 is an item that significantly boosts spell power while simultaneously reducing the cooldown of primary offensive spells. This allows for a more frequent barrage of high-damage attacks, overwhelming enemies before they can mount a substantial counter. Another highly prized piece enhances the sorcerer's elemental resistances, making them less vulnerable to the punishing magical attacks prevalent in endgame content. This defensive boost is often paired with affixes that increase movement speed or grant temporary shields upon taking damage, providing crucial windows for repositioning or retaliating. Furthermore, players are prioritizing Chaos Armor pieces that offer unique interactions with specific sorcerer skills, such as enhancing the potency of Chain Lightning or amplifying the area of effect for Meteor. Some legendary affixes found on this armor can even grant secondary effects, like a chance to stun enemies with each spell cast or to generate additional resources upon landing a critical hit. These intricate synergies allow for highly specialized builds, catering to different playstyles, whether one prefers a glass cannon approach or a more sustained, controlled assault. The hunt for these specific combinations of stats and legendary powers has become a central activity for many players aiming to climb the leaderboards and conquer the most challenging dungeons and world bosses. The community buzz is palpable, with forums and social media alight with discussions on the best roles and legendary powers. Players are sharing their discoveries, debating the merits of different gear combinations, and strategizing on how to acquire these elusive pieces through challenging activities like Nightmare Dungeons and the Uber bosses. The meta is constantly evolving, driven by these gear discoveries, as players push the boundaries of what's possible with their sorcerers. These powerful pieces of gear are not just about stats, they're about unlocking new ways to play and dominate. But how do these specific Chaos Armor pieces stack up against each other? And what are the absolute must-have affixes for a truly unstoppable sorcerer build this season? We break down the top choices and why they matter. Diablo 4's Wacky, past powers may return permanently. Blizzard Entertainment is exploring a significant shift in how Diablo 4 handles its seasonal content, with developers acknowledging player desires to see past seasonal powers integrated into the game permanently. In a recent episode of Diablo 4's Burning Questions video series, class designer Charles Dunn revealed that the team is actively considering ways to reintroduce popular mechanics and abilities from previous seasons, moving beyond their limited time availability. Diablo 4 initially introduced unique seasonal powers, starting with Season 1's Malignant Hearts, offering players fresh gameplay mechanics for a limited duration. However, with the conclusion of each season, these powers have historically vanished, resetting the gameplay experience for the next seasonal cycle. Dunn explained the rationale behind this approach. The most limited part are the seasonal powers. Those really are only applicable for that season. And on one hand, we really like that, because it allows us to be very experimental. We can try a bit more wacky and crazy things. This experimental freedom has led to some highly creative and engaging abilities that players have grown fond of. However, the developer also recognized the strong player attachment to these temporary mechanics. But we are definitely aware that a lot of players really resonate with some of these mechanics. Some of these powers, in particular, Dunn stated. So we're gonna look to find ways to reincorporate those old powers and old effects into future systems as well. This suggests a potential paradigm shift, where Blizzard might aim to retain the experimental nature of seasons while also providing a more enduring impact on the core game through the permanent integration of beloved powers. The community has frequently expressed nostalgia and longing for certain seasonal abilities. For instance, players who enjoyed the vampiric powers introduced in Season 2, Season of the Blood, particularly the ability to transform into a cloud of bats upon evading, have voiced their desire for such mechanics to return. The prospect of these wacky and crazy powers becoming permanent fixtures offers exciting possibilities for build diversity and long-term player engagement. It could lead to a richer, more dynamic base game, filled with a wider array of potent and unique abilities that players can mix and match to create their ultimate characters. While Blizzard has not yet detailed the specific methods for reintroducing these powers, whether they might be added as legendary aspects, unique items, or entirely new systems, the developer's openness to the idea has been met with widespread approval. This move could address player fatigue with repetitive seasonal resets and provide a continuous sense of progression and discovery within Diablo 4's evolving world. It signals a commitment to listening to player feedback and adapting the game's design to foster greater player satisfaction and retention. This potential integration could inject new life into Diablo 4's endgame and long-term appeal. What specific powers are players hoping to see return, and how might Blizzard implement them without disrupting the game's balance? We dive into the fan favorites and the potential design challenges ahead. Destiny Rising captures hearts, fuels Destiny 2 debate. In a surprising twist within the gaming community, the mobile title Destiny Rising has garnered significant player affection, not just for its quality, but for sparking a fervent discussion about the direction of the mainline Destiny franchise. Released recently, the game has quickly become a focal point for fans, drawing praise for its successful emulation of the core Destiny experience, from exploration to combat, while simultaneously highlighting perceived shortcomings in its PC and console counterpart, Destiny 2. The initial reaction to Destiny Rising has been overwhelmingly positive. Players are flooding social media platforms with commendations for its varied features and authentic Destiny feel. While some players have begun to encounter the typical gacha wall limitations common in mobile games, many are expressing surprise at the game's perceived generosity, especially in the early stages. This positive reception is amplified by direct comparisons to Destiny 2, with many fans pointing out that Destiny Rising incorporates features that players have been requesting for years in the main series. Notable examples include the return of the Sparrow Racing League, a fan-favorite activity from the original Destiny, and the inclusion of clan housing, elements that have been notably absent or underdeveloped in Destiny 2. This phenomenon stands in stark contrast to the reception of Blizzard's Diablo Immortal a few years prior. While Diablo fans eagerly awaiting Diablo 4 expressed anger and disappointment that the next major installment was a mobile game, Destiny fans are now finding themselves questioning why a mobile title is delivering on features they've long desired from Bungie's flagship shooter. The key difference lies in player expectations and the tangible reality of the existing game. Diablo 4 was, at the time of Immortal's launch, a highly anticipated concept filled with player-generated hopes and dreams. Destiny 2, on the other hand, is a long-established product with a decade of history, allowing players to directly compare its flaws and missed opportunities against the fresh experience offered by Destiny. Rising. Players are now viewing Destiny, Rising in a similar light to how some Diablo fans view Diablo Immortal. While Immortal has seen updates that Diablo 4 players might appreciate, the current frustration stems from having a polished, albeit flawed, Diablo 4 in hand. Similarly, Destiny. Rising provides a compelling experience that fans are embracing, using it as a benchmark against which they measure Destiny 2. The central conflict for many Destiny fans is that while Rising is an excellent mobile game, it is not the much anticipated, yet unannounced, Destiny 3. Nevertheless, its arrival at a time of significant player dissatisfaction with Destiny 2 makes it a natural outlet for hopes and aspirations for the future of the franchise. As players continue to engage with Destiny, Rising, the initial positive sentiment might evolve. However, for now, the game is offering a much-needed dose of novelty and excitement in the Destiny universe. The game's popularity underscores the immense player appetite for new content and potentially a new entry in the series, to the point where fans are willing to explore mobile platforms and deal with gacha mechanics. Whether Destiny 3 will ever materialize remains unknown, but Destiny Rising is currently serving as a vibrant placeholder, giving players a taste of the fresh experiences they crave. Destiny Rising's success highlights a clear demand for innovation within the franchise. What does this surge in popularity for a mobile title mean for Bungie's future plans, and is it a sign that the franchise needs a fundamental shakeup? We explore the player sentiment and what it could signal for the future of Destiny. And that's a wrap on today's top stories. We saw over 450 Diablo developers unionize, signaling a major shift in the gaming industry. Then, we uncovered the best chaos armor for Sorcerers in Diablo 4 Season 10 to dominate the battlefield. We also explored Blizzard's consideration of bringing back fan-favorite wacky powers permanently to Diablo 4. Finally, Destiny fans are finding unexpected joy and sparking debate with the surprisingly good mobile game, Destiny Rising. Don't miss out on any of these incredible updates. Hit that like button, subscribe to Tarnished Tales for more, and ring the notification bell. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and follow us on all social media platforms for more exclusive content. See you next time.